Hi, seventh grade. All right, so this week in drama, we are starting our set design project, which is going to take us 2 weeks. So this first part, we're learning about set design, and we're going to kind of do some hands-on things in class. There is an assignment for each day that you are not in class, though, so you really need to make sure that you're staying on top of things. So I want to show you, this is going to look a little confusing at first, but just bear with me. So when you see the screen, this is what I see. Yours will not look this busy. But what I did was I made the assignments basically 4 times. So one for each cohort for each class period to make sure that you knew exactly what was due, exactly when. Okay, so for instance, if I'm in cohort A tomorrow at school, here's what we're doing, and that's assigned to the 16 people that are in that class. Okay, and then the following day at school, this is what they're going to be doing. Okay, in cohort A. However, people in cohort B, you have your at-home assignment. Okay, this is due before the end of the day tomorrow. Okay, followed by then the at-home assignment for cohort B, which is then due on Tuesday. Okay, so I've made sure I've really individualized it for you to make sure that you know exactly when things are due, so that you can get your attendance credit. You're also learning something though. Okay, so I'm going to go through each of these assignments individually, but just kind of so you're aware of here's what's going on. And then the following week, okay, so next week we're going to be building our sets in class. So I'm going to be kind of previewing this assignment for those people in cohort B so that I can send you home with some materials so you can be working on your set design stuff for your asynchronous assignments at the beginning of the week for cohort B, and then finishing things up when you come into school. And then cohort A, you're going to do the opposite. Basically, you're prepping and then you're going to finish it at home. Okay, so, and then we're going to move on to a different project the following week. So, yeah, all right, so that's kind of an overview, and then let's talk about these individual assignments. Okay, so we're going to talk about the asynchronous assignments first. So we're going to look at cohort B, but it's the same assignment for both groups. All right, so so what you see at home day 1. Okay, and so you click on the video. Okay, and it is a little bit of a lengthy video. It is 20-ish minutes long, 26 minutes long. Okay, and so what you're going to be doing is you're going to watch that. Okay, and then there are a set of questions that go along with it. Okay, and what this does is it proves to me that yes, I did indeed watch this. Okay, so as you watch that video, and again, you can stop and start it. Okay, but as you watch that video, there's an introduction part, and it asks you to look at this picture, and so you're going to answer these questions. Okay, and then there is a portion of the video where there is someone who is a designer for Shakespeare's Comedy of Errors. And so she talks about model building. And so I'm asking you an opinion question. Why do you think it's important to build a model when planning a set for a show? Then we see some clips from Hamilton. Okay, and so what was the major challenge when designing the set for Hamilton, according to that guy in the video? And then what are some inspirations for the set of Hamilton? So he discusses that in detail. And then there is a part where it talks about the design process. Now, we talked about this with sound and lighting a few weeks ago, and so it should be pretty similar, right? So that is where we get that. That's the first at-home assignment. The second at-home assignment is a little bit shorter. What you're going to look at is... All right, so there are 2 videos. One is about scenic design. So you'll click on that YouTube link, okay, and there are 2 questions to answer there. And see, that one's about 7 minutes long. And then this second video that you're going to see is also about 7 minutes. And there's 2 questions there. please make sure that you answer in complete sentences, and that you check your spelling and all that. Otherwise, it just kind of makes it look like you didn't really try that hard. All right. All right, so those are your at-home assignments for this week. And next, we'll talk about our in-school assignments. Okay, all right, so as far as what we're doing at school, okay, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be choosing a fairy tale. Okay, you're going to be choosing a fairy tale that you want to create a set for. Okay, so remember that you're not creating this huge wooden set, right? It's almost like a dollhouse version, like a mini version. And this will basically be a model of if you were going to put this set on a stage, what it would look like for the builders. Okay, so colors it will look like, what shapes, what sizes, those kind of things. All right, so you're going to be needing to think about what are the needs for that show. Okay, so I gave you a lot of different choices: Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, Cinderella, Jack and the Beanstalk, Little Red Riding Hood, Princess and the Pea, Rapunzel, Sleeping Beauty, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Now, assumably you know one of those, and if you don't, we maybe need to read some books to you. But what you're going to do is you are going to open up this fairy tale set design basics. And so once you've chosen that in class, then you're going to be responsible for answering these questions about that. Haha, all right, didn't move to the next down. Okay, so here are these questions. So when, as in what time period, does your fairy tale take place? Where does it take place, as in what area? What kind of building materials do you think were used at the time to build houses or buildings? What materials will you use to create the look for your set? What colors will your set be? How could changes in lighting affect the mood of the set? And what things might be in your set to properly communicate, what things must be in your set to properly communicate your fairy tale? Okay, so for instance, Jack and the Beanstalk has to have a beanstalk, right? Or else the story will not make sense, okay? And so if you don't know some of these answers, specifically like, where does your fairy tale take place? I don't know exactly where Jack and the Beanstalk takes place. I know that it's in the country, right, in a kind of an older town, but you know, I think you can guesstimate, right? You could say, oh, sure, it happened in 1600, okay? Or maybe you want to make your Jack and the Beanstalk more of a modern version. So you can make those decisions as a designer. For instance, you know, a couple years ago when you guys were in 5th grade, we did Hamilton. It's late at night, sorry. We did Hamlet, good Lord. We did Hamlet, and we did it in a modern setting, and it took place in a software design company, like a video game company. And so that's not what, when Shakespeare wrote that play, that's not what he came up with. But we made the decision as design team and as directors, this is how we want to do this production, okay? And we kind of made it work in that way. So that's what you're going to be kind of starting the process to do. All right, so then on the second day in school, what we're going to be doing is we are going to start to create some stock set pieces, okay? And for this, what we're going to be doing basically is kind of creating some flats and things. We're going to watch this video that goes along with it. I did not make this video, but another amazing drama teacher did and is allowing me to borrow it. So, and we're going to kind of follow along with these notes. And then I brought in a bunch of cardboard that we're going to use to measure and come up with our own pieces. So some kind of hands-on stuff. All right. Yeah, so it's gonna be a good week.